So tonight, guys, I want to introduce, and as a matter of fact, I go to Trinidad a lot. I am a very connected to Trinidad. So when I spoke to Mr. John today and I said, we need to do something for Trinidad, and then we can do it for the rest of the world because Trinidad to me is the hub for all marketing. And don't take this lightly. This is very serious. If you hit Trinidad, you have like an octopus arm from there throughout the world. So Mr. John Rustin, I've known him for over 20 years now. We used to do presentations together. And he's a man of integrity, and he wants to show you what you can benefit. So guys, pay close attention, take copious notes, take your pencils out and listen to what's going to happen tonight. Listen to the presentation of the special also for the Trinidadian people tonight, and with an extension to the rest of the world and what it's going to do for you. So without further ado, I would like to present to you the man himself, Mr. John Rustin. John, you can take it over.
Patrick, thank you for the intro, and Chris, thank you also for introducing
You're
Patrick.
so welcome.
I tell you, it's been such a long time, 20 plus years between Patrick and I doing a presentation together. But at the same time, we were doing global presentations. In Ghana, we were doing presentations with thousands of people, from South Africa all the way to middle north of South America to. I know that we were part of that rush when some of our friends went and launched India for a program, and India blew up. So again, Patrick and I for 20 plus years, have presented way back and back together again. We had a good long talk today. And one of the things I say to you, that the one thing I love that Patrick said the most was, he says, man, I don't care about all this stuff that over here that the company can take care of. I care about what the company can do for all the people in the world. And see, that to me is why birds of a feather flock together. And I say it all the time in our training. Look at the people you associate with. If the last five people you took advice from, you wouldn't be that person, or you wouldn't want their life. That doesn't mean judge somebody. It just means the world is ready for ZSuite. The world's tired of hearing about 1.4 billion people unbankable on purpose. Let's think about what I just said. Patrick and I, back in the day, we're promoting, we're training, we're teaching people around the world. Now we're back together 20 years later. He hadn't changed, I haven't changed. But what has changed is the world. A lot of people come into business with a condescending, very pessimistic attitude because the world's caused people not to believe in anything anymore. But the one thing that ZSuite refuses to be is just another deal. Just another company you joined because a friend invited you and you got in and you thought you were in, but you really weren't in. You were associated, but you really weren't in. You weren't sold out. You didn't have that burning desire to help somebody beyond just maybe the comp plan. So today I'm telling you that, I appreciate coaching from Patrick. I totally appreciate the like mind. So right now we're going to start out with Trinidad. We're going to start out with, I know even in Africa, our African team are going to duplicate exactly what we're starting out with today. I know that Johnny and Gail and some of our friends in our group have asked about this and that, and I've listened. So what we're doing today, we're going to show you a preview of how we're going to open up countries by doing promotions to get people our plastic card, doing promotion to get people even our virtual card. In Trinidad, we found out today that Apple Pay and Google Pay aren't legal to use. Now, I want everybody in America and in places where Apple Pay and Google Pay is normal, you think that's like, just everybody's supposed to have it. Well, think about it. There are still countries on the planet where you can't use certain things. And in the country we're launching in with our card program today at a discount is a country where we can send physical cards into that country, but they are not allowed to use Apple Pay and Google Pay. So I hope that many of you who are in countries or areas where you can use Apple Pay and Google Pay, just go shopping down the street. I want you to remember the world is not as convenient as you think it is. And if you're on this call and you've got any groups in Africa and South America or places where maybe like what we're going to talk about today, we can bring people into what my family calls a free lifestyle. Again, you see me put my father's first cousin, Baird Rustin, right there. He wrote all the civil rights speeches for Martin Luther King. He organized the whole march on Selma. He organized the march on DC. And my last name carries weight of helping. See, he wasn't the one who got all the glory, but he was the one who wrote the speech. He was the one who got over 2,700 buses, spent meticulous hours to go march in Washington and talk about everybody has a right to have freedom. So let's talk about how ZSuite could match that in a sense of he was about labor, job, and voting. We're going to be about having equality in banking. So let's go ahead and get started. And again, Patrick, thank you so much for helping me today, because Patrick made a huge difference in this whole presentation on helping me. And let's move this out the way and get started. So our big focus today is talking about how to help people become bankable. Bankable in Trinidad starting first. So let's make this disclaimer real quick. This is not for everybody, but we hope it is. Okay. And we make no income guarantees. You'll probably make money with this platform duplication compensation system. And basically, duplication just means sharing. So our focus right now is to make sure you understand this. There's no recruiting required to basically, I'm not muted. There you go. There's no recruiting required basically to earn income here. And again, you'll be paid based on your own leadership skills, your team leadership skills, your energy, your enthusiasm is what makes people follow people. So I want to be 100% clear with you. We make no income guarantees. We're going to be always transparent. Before you join this program or any program in our industry, seek legal advice. But today our focus is how do we take ZSuite and disrupt, help Trinidad, help the Caribbean disrupt the banking industry. Remember, our first business model is disrupting the banking industry by helping people who are considered unbankable become bankable. So in Trinidad today, our focus is to make it decentralized and make everybody bankable. There's about 1.5 million people there that everybody needs the dignity and the decency of being bankable. And that's what we're on for today. So again, I hope you recognize this flag. You may have seen it somewhere. So I want to talk a little bit about Trinidad. It's one of the few places where the countries that they do business with will shock you of how much influence Trinidad has in the world. And the biggest benefit is that ZSuite, with Patrick and some of the leaders we talked to, we're focused on making sure that every Trinidad, every person on the islands has a MasterCard product from us. Every person on the island can help other countries, other people who may not be bankable, not just in the Caribbean, but around the world. I know for a fact that Trinidad can be a gateway to all the countries that we want to get into by ZSuite and Trinidad partnering up together and setting the example. So again, a lot of people don't realize that the influence that this little country, with the power of the big countries, we'll call it, basically the influence is incredible. I mean, think about it, from Venezuela to Brazil to Argentina to Sao Paulo, Brazil, any little area, you can always find somebody doing business with Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, it may seem like a small island, but the influence is global. And that's why we say at the end of the day, based on our experience in direct marketing, all leaders, some of the most powerful network marketing leaders in the world on the planet Earth have come from Trinidad. So one of the biggest benefits of being on today is that we're focused on not just supporting a deployment, but again, ZSuite Global Pay has been in process of being created for 15 years. And our whole point is all about lifestyle. Think about it. If you're in the United States and someone told you you couldn't use Google Pay or Apple Pay. How would you feel about that? And yet people in Trinidad experience it every day. And yet it's one of the most powerful groups of people on the planet Earth. Everybody deserves a right, not breaking the law. Everybody deserves a right to have access to Google Pay and Apple Pay. But even if they don't have it, we have our own MasterCard product. And a little bit about me. I know I haven't done this in a while, but again, I'm just that guy from North Carolina, raised in Texas, so I'm a hillbilly. I've taken 2 companies public. I've done everything that you can think of from a business point of view, failed more than succeeded. But the difference is that I ran the largest network marketing software company in the world. And then when I was recruited to go to China and run a company that we put 1.5 million people in that company in 22 months, that's something that even I today look back and say, what we did is we hit it at the right time. But what I'm going to say to you is nothing I've done in my past compares, on a positive note, because I've had some challenges. Nothing compares to ZSuite. It doesn't matter how many millionaires that our software made, which is probably about 40,000 to 50,000 if we really want to count how many millionaires made from our software. It doesn't matter. What matters is today. If we can go into Trinidad, set a precedent that we can follow up with Jamaica, we can follow up with even Haiti. We've already talked to our partners in Haiti, but right now Trinidad is our benchmark. So what's happening is ZSuite Global Pay, we cover a lot of areas, mostly AI technology, recruiting. We have daily pay. I mean, there's people in our company right now getting paid up to 50 to 100 times a week. I want to make sure you heard what I just said. There are people in ZSuite Pay right now, today, getting paid up to 50 to 100 times a week. And yet, networking people, the most powerful people on earth, they understand our job is to teach, our job is to provide a product that's good, not be a salesperson. And in Trinidad, we want to come in and do the same. We want to have it where if we can help the first country we've chosen to go live with a discount on our cards, not our retail price, basically wholesale price, giving every leader the chance to get in the ZSuite system, get a physical plastic card, and be able to have their commissions paid on that card. That's where our goal is. So again, this call is a little about ZSuite, but mostly about launching Trinidad. Again, everybody knows we have customizable solution. The solution we're focused on today right now is to get anywhere from 1,500 to 15,000 cards delivered. Keyword, this card right here, get it delivered in Trinidad in the next 30 days. That's our goal. So if you're on this call and you're a leader, I'm going to just say this because you got to be transparent about what I'm going to say. So we got to know who you are. Know our customers, our biggest thing that keeps us legal, legitimate, and above water. 24 hours ago, our CFO and myself got access to our own banking platform. And think about what I'm going to say next. That banking platform gives us the ability to issue cards in over 100 countries today. We've been working on other companies' platforms and waiting on them. I just finally said, look, let's just do it ourselves. So we spent the money. The platform is live. Tomorrow we've got all day training, following up with the bank and what we need to do. But in Trinidad, that's going to be one of the first countries that get a discount with this card right here. So I'm saying to you that not only can we white label cards, let me say this again. If you're in Congo, if you're on this call, like our stockists in Mexico, when I follow up with our stockists, that stockist will be able to take this card and customize it for Mexico. We're starting out with a Trinidad card for our people on this call because our focus is, even though, again, I have to stress the point, you can't use Google Pay and Apple Pay. Even though it does come free with this card, and I'm not trying to break the law in Trinidad, I'm just saying, you'll be able to have this card go to every retail store because what we're committing to, once we get enough orders in from the Trinidad group, many of the original founders that's on this call know that we have a retail model where we can take these cards and hang them in all the stores in Trinidad. So when people come and visit the island, they can buy this card in a retail store as a souvenir. What we're looking for is Trinidadian leaders to come on board with ZSuite. So we use Trinidad as our model. I talked to Patrick and asked for his permission. I said, if we find leaders there and we find leaders that can help us open Trinidad up, we'll have a ZSuite Financial Center open in Trinidad based on production, because I'm all about production. Plenty of people come to me and they tell me they're going to hang the moon, okay? In our business, I hear it all the time, every day. I'm gonna, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the back office. Oh, my genealogy tree. Networkers don't care about that. Leaders care about making sure you believe in the dream. The dream has to be bigger than you, or nobody's going to follow you. And I'm telling you right now, the leaders in Trinidad are some of the best leaders on earth. They're not looking for some mini little thing to have an excuse to bill. It is all about production. You cannot be in network marketing and market something you don't believe in. If you've been in network marketing for 5 years, 10 years, 10 minutes, this business is all about people believing you. They're not asking about customer service issues. They're not worried about what typos right or wrong. They're worried about how many people did I recruit that activated today, whether it's free or paid. Leaders lead leaders. Followers get out of the way. And that's one thing that I said this month. I'm in recruiting mode, not excuse mode. So right now, I'm saying to you, as a chairman of this company, if we hit the right numbers, which me and Patrick know we can do together, because we're bad, we can open up an actual ZSuite Financial Center in Trinidad, and everybody we can find that owns a retail store in the islands, Trinidad could be the thing that makes Turks and Caicos come on. Trinidad could be the thing that makes Jamaica go right. Trinidad can make the Dominican Republic launch. Trinidad can make Haiti. So what I'm saying to you is that, unlike typical people in business, the Trinidad market is the strongest market for the small size it is in network marketing. We're reaching out saying, leaders, sign up for free. $19 our regular retail price. And I know that we've got other people who have been waiting on pricing for their groups in Africa, but I've been working on this. Now it's ready to talk to everybody around the world. We're starting out with a $10 product, basically. And if people can't afford $10, sorry. But I tell you one thing, the minute we ship these cards to Trinidad and we ship the cards to Congo, we ship the cards to Sierra Leone, we ship the cards to Senegal, we ship the cards to the Philippines, it's over already before we start it. Because here's the difference. If you believe in what we're doing, it does not matter what issue that technology has, because this has never been done before. What matters is, are you on our team? Are you sold out? Or you're sitting back waiting everything to become perfect and to get off your fanny and start building? We are going to hit $1 billion faster than anybody else. And I'm telling you, launching Trinidad is the first time you've heard me say that. That is how much confidence I have in the leaders in Trinidad. Been there, done that. And Patrick and the leadership that we both shared, not only 20 years ago, we shared 20 years ago, global leadership, thousands of people making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we're back together again. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to repeat the past, make a zero in back of it. Instead of thousands, we're going to have 10,000s. But it starts in Trinidad today. So again, I appreciate everybody in our company. I respect everybody who supports the company, our new founders, our old founders, my wife, our CFO, who I drive crazy, our programmers in 5 different countries that support us. Everybody has a lane to stay in. The biggest benefit is we're starting in Trinidad. That's our global lane. You've not heard me talk about any country yet. And now I am. Because there's a difference between talkers and doers. I will put money on Trinidadians in a heartbeat because I know how they build. And the only thing I love about Trinidad, I'll say one thing about Trinidad people, either they trust you or they don't. And Patrick will back me on that, and anybody from Trinidad will back you on that. People will say, yeah, I'm all in, Mr. Russell. But one thing I love about Trinidad, they are transparent. They trust you, you got it. They'll tell you to the face, nope, I do not trust you. And you know what? You got to take it with a grain of salt. It takes tough skin to be in this industry. And I'm telling you, having Trinidad to be our first country that we put a flag down called ZSuite Pay Global, that is the first country. And again, we're going to do the same thing in Africa. We're going to do the same thing in Kenya, same thing in Ethiopia, but it starts today with Trinidad. So again, if you don't know about this little country, you might want to. So what we did is we did a promotion, and this is everybody. Starting with Trinidad, we're going to offer the physical plastic cards for just $10. Why do we do this? We do this to get our leaders in the system. We do this so that on a global scale, we're not sitting around talking about having 5,000 people in our company. We're doing it because here's the deal. I said to everybody, come February, I'm in recruiting mode. I'm not in, let me hear about this. If it ain't about 5,000 or 100,000 or a million people, it is basically white noise. And white noise does not pay your bills. All the leaders that we want to bring into this company is going to be great. But here's the deal. We're not a network marketing company. We're a business. Let me make sure you all understand this. This is a network marketing comp plan that pays you USDT every other day or every day, except for Saturday and Sunday. And all we're doing now is saying, do you know anybody that uses a MasterCard? Do you know anybody on earth that you didn't talk to that could get a MasterCard that you can load? Here's the key word. You can load the card at Western Union. The card has an ABA routing number. Many of you have seen the video I did 2 days ago shopping at one of the stores with the card, so you know it works. You've seen videos from last year, me and Travis in California out running around using our card to basically pay for coffee at Starbucks. So I'm saying to you, as a company, we don't need anybody to come to this company trying to educate us on what we're focused on. We are a train. Either you're on the train, you're watching it by, you might get run over. I'm saying to you out of respect, you have the ability to change your life if you want to. Smart people work for people. Entrepreneurs work for themselves. And they aren't looking for vacation. They aren't looking for things to be perfect. And I'm telling you, here is 2025, and Trinidad and Tobago cannot use Apple Pay and Google Pay. Why? Isn't the Earth round? Or is Trinidad and Tobago on some planetary planet somewhere else? No. This country is right down the street from the United States. And here's the bottom line. They're right down the street from the United States, and they can't even use products that normally, that even in China you can use. That shows you that we have a mission as ZSuite. It's not about looking pretty. It's not about, I'm going to wait and get there one day. It's about leaders come to the top. Just like anything else, when you look at anything, you can do the whole thing of watching the MLM industry. You meet a typical MLM leader. This is a fact. The average MLM millionaire has no college degree. Fact. The average Fortune 500 executive CEO has no college degree. What does that tell you about education? Bill Gates didn't finish college. Steve Jobs didn't finish college. So why don't you think about, why did Elon and Peter Thiel and all these guys go to school? Because they're a new generation of billionaires. I'm saying to you, no matter what your background is, I promise you, MasterCard is used in 71 million locations on Earth. And for anybody to know that, I am so blessed, because having Patrick and I make the call to each other, and we walk through everything he said. Now, one thing I love he said, and I'll give him credit, because here's a mature network marketer. He goes, John, there's some things that need to be fixed in the back office, but that's not important. What's important is our story. What's important is the 4-step process. Sign up in ZSuite with a referral link for free. Once you sign up, figure out what you want to do. Do you want to buy the card at $10 right now? Or do you want to buy your $88 membership? Be a product of the product. That's called network marketing. And I'm telling you, Every leader on this call in Trinidad right now, we're putting our flag on your country today to help us go global. Not a little pressure, maybe a little bit of pressure. But bottom line is, as soon as you pay for your $10, our physical focus is to get all the cards to you within 5 to 10 business days, depending on the mail. And one thing I want to stress, if you're in Trinidad and you don't have a physical address, maybe you have a P.O. box and then you have a local mail center, make sure you get the P.O. box number correct and make sure the mail center's physical address is correct with your name on it. That way we know that your card will get there directly. Because even when I lived in Puerto Rico, my house had a physical address, but my business address was at the post office, the mail post office center down the street. So I'm saying to you, if you're in Trinidad, you're on this call, you're going to be one of our leader partners, you're one of our brand partners, make sure whenever you spend your $10 that you get to the card compliance at ZSuitePay.net. So card compliance at ZSuitePay.net. So one of the biggest benefits is that, let me go back for a little, real quick. The first cards coming out, we're going to just regular gold cards. And my goal is, if we hit a specific number, then what I'm going to do is send a next round of cards at no cost. So Patrick and myself, and if you're a leader on here and you're working with me and Patrick, we're going to come up with the numbers together. I'm not going to tell you the numbers. I work for you and I work with you, but I don't tell you. That's one of the big differences being a real leader. I'm asking you to make a mental commitment. And when we do our own private Zooms with leaders in Trinidad and Tobago, we'll find out what that number needs to be. And what I want to do is create this card right here. As you probably notice the colors, this card can be put into a wrap. I know that some of our old founders that have been with us 2 years know about our retail sleeve. You can literally take this product once we get everything going in Trinidad, have it at the airport for tourists. When the cruise ships come in, have it as a souvenir for tourists to go home with. And here's the great part. You're able to literally, once we finish launching Trinidad, you're literally able to take the card, put it into a retail store shelf. Someone can go in and purchase the card retail. And basically, by purchasing the card retail, the retail this is important. The retail POS machine, depending on the kind of POS machine they have, can load money on the card before they walk out the store. Now, I know the bankers in Trinidad probably aren't going to be too happy with us in about a year. But that's the same thing happened with the taxi industry. Taxi's been around since 1909. Here's the problem. They didn't change for 100 years. Uber comes out of nowhere. And now the taxi industry hates Uber, but they had the whole thing wrapped up. But now there's competition. Now it's like, oh, they should be shut down. Uber drivers should be licensed. What's going to happen in Trinidad is we're going to put so many cards in the market with our leaders there that we're going to change the entire country. This is our first conversation as ZSuite country changer. 1.5 million people can't use Google Pay or Apple Pay. It's just the world. Our focus is we want our leaders there to understand that you're the first country that we've chosen as a company to not just support the leaders, but make sure that you have no competition when it comes to this product. And that's why I say to you, let's do this in closing. Again, as Patrick says, and I'll stick on that, this is for everybody, but not for anybody. So again, we make no income guarantees. You'll probably make money with this platform's compensation plan and duplication system. Even if you just buy the card and you're just a customer, you're helping us out to get those cards into Trinidad. So again, no recruiting is required. There's no income guarantee. You'll be paid based on your own leadership skills and basically your team leadership. I mean, when you can teach people, you can teach people, get paid. So we want to be clear and 100% honest with you. Before joining this program or any program, we're going to ask you to seek legal advice. So again, one of the biggest benefits of having Patrick and myself back together 20 years later is that we're all about being in a mindset that we're moving forward at every level. We're not worried about the nuances. That's why, look, we're getting ready to inherit 14 people in the ZSuite's payroll next 30 not even 30, next 15 days, just from the technologies company. We're going to grow like this, and we're going to hire more people. But the difference is we're going to support everybody. And for people who've never run a business, don't give us advice. Don't. Because what happens is we want to respect you based on your ability to get what you want from this company. It's about you. It ain't about us. Been there, done that. Our focus is we found our first country that we're going to latch in on. And if Patrick, myself, and our leaders come up with some programs where maybe if you help us out, we'll figure out how we can do our convention in Trinidad or something, or have it where Patrick, now I promise some of the leaders here in Trinidad, now somebody owns a travel tourist bureau type company. If we get our stuff going the right way, our focus is partner up with a local Trinidadian travel bureau, whoever it might be, and maybe we throw that in our comp plan for bonuses for our leader, all of our leaders. So again, Patrick, I can't thank you enough. If you can come back on for coming back in my life. And I thank all the people from Anthony's team, everybody who brought Patrick back to me. Guys, I appreciate you. You brought my brother back. And like I said, 20 years ago, we had hundreds of countries that we were teaching. All I know is you're chairman right now. I am putting a flag in Trinidad. And again, it's going to rock the world. With that, we'll send it back to you, Chris and Patrick. I hope somebody in Trinidad heard what we're saying. Make sure you get your zip code. Make sure your post office boxes are correct so we can ship everything to you. So back to you, Patrick, and back to you, Chris.